Welcome everyone. I'm very excited to be doing this. I know that my partners are very excited. I hope that if you're watching this vlog number 0, vlog number 1, you're also excited. We're gonna be talking a bit about what is Majoriti, who am I, who's part of this. It's been a project that a lot of people that know me and know us have heard about, but I think it's about time we start sharing a bit more in depth of our day-to-day, of what we're building, of behind the scenes, and this is what this blog basically is for. The goal is to be posting once a week, updates, nothing too sophisticated since we're not planning on dedicating our whole time to YouTube. Yet, we want to build a community, we want to build more than anything, conversation, kind of like many times when you're building products, when you're building companies, we kind of show just the final product to an audience, and Majoriti is more than that. Majoriti is truly what we're trying to build, and I'm going straight into the first question, which is what is Majoriti? Is that we're truly trying to build an ecosystem, and I don't mean it in kind of like the flashy or like ChatGPT kind of like description, one fits all of like, we're building an ecosystem for creatives and blah, 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 when in reality what you're trying to do is just to make some kind of transactional organization. An ecosystem, if we look at nature, is a complex group of organisms combining and sharing and sometimes competing with each other. But what I would say, and this is not scripted, this is just from 2.5 years of this journey of Majoriti, I would understand that an ecosystem is a very complex structure. It's also one that it cannot be built from scratch and be ready immediately. I think this has been one of the biggest mistakes, and I think we're just jumping and going for it as the intro of Majoriti, which is, one thing is the vision and the ideals and all the things you can do behind the scenes and on a whiteboard and on Figma and you know, prototyping, and then it's reality. And in an ecosystem, when you're really truly trying to build an ecosystem, you understand that the ecosystem is mostly the relationship between the people and the organisms that compose this ecosystem. So Majoriti, its grand vision when it started 2.5 years ago, when I was basically just me and this idea of Majoriti, and part of this video will be tell you a bit of a timeline of how it started 2.5 years ago and where we are today and where we're going. It started as this idea that basically, especially creative people, are suffering today in the workplace because it's very hard to be with like-minded individuals, creative like-minded individuals, to do work that really fills you with passion. And I think one of the most untold or unspoken pain points is that work for creatives can become very monotonous. Why do I say this? For example, I personally, don't judge me, love doing websites. I love it. It combines a lot of things. Websites are used by a lot of people, so they have a direct impact. The moment you release the website, people get to use it, get to interact, get to give you feedback. It connects people, it can sell products, it can showcase something, it can allow someone to share a service. Websites for me are like the king of the Web 2 world, you know? As we move along this podcast, or this vlog, sorry, we're gonna talk about Web 2, Web 3, etc., a lot of things about technology. But about the world until today, until AI, I wanna say that websites are king, you know, are truly where we can also, if you think about it, in social media, now going back and forth, we kind of build our own brand in a platform that is not ours. Websites are truly kind of like where we can say who we are and show who we are. So because of that, I love websites. However, 3 or 4 years ago, I opened a web design studio. I used to do websites for friends, for myself. People used to like them. So I wanted to have some income. So I opened a web design studio. However, after 1.5 years of doing websites, I hated doing websites. But did I really hate doing websites, or was it just that I felt like it wasn't inspiring anymore? After 2 years of stopping doing my web design studio and then designing the website of Majoriti for their launch event, I realized that I really love doing websites. So what was the problem? The problem was never about that I didn't like doing websites. It's just that, one, I was alone. So I was doing this web design studio alone. Yes, making good money, but alone. So on one hand, I was doing work that I wasn't the best at. So this is already one of the pain points of creatives that tend to do everything themselves. The second is that you need to find some way to make money, so you kind of choose like a niche. So I chose websites, but then it became monotonous because it was website after website after website, and I kind of ended up despising doing websites When in reality, looking back now, I understand that it's not the doing the website that I didn't like. It was just kind of like the being alone, the not being able to work on other projects that excited me. So when ChatGPT came out in November 2022, might be wrong, but this is when I remember, this is when I used it for the first time. I was like, okay, this is changing everything. With AI, I started understanding that I had all this unlimited kind of potential to visualize and materialize my ideas. First of all, ChatGPT, number one AI king platform. I could tell it an idea and it could make it into something legible and understandable, and I started sharing these ideas with others. So first of all, ChatGPT opened my mind. Then other apps like text to image, image to video, text to apps, and all of these amazing things we're doing here in Majority, where we are really focusing on the transformation in the AI era, the transition of like the Web 2 to the Web 3 era, to the pre-AI to the post-AI era. We are really focusing on the I call it the revenge of the creatives, like creative people who have the best ideas, who have maybe invested in learning about a lot of different things. Like Dani, for example, one of our co-founders, who we'll meet later, she knows a lot about a lot of things. Before kind of like the AI era, people used to frown upon people that knew a lot about a lot of things, but weren't like the specific cog in the machine for something, because it's like you're not really good at anything. And today we're seeing kind of the opposite. We're talking about the T-shaped individual, this person who has wide range of interest and skills, and yes, of course, needs to have some kind of vertical, but this wide range of interest, now with AI, we're seeing that it's kind of like a superpower, because you are able to move around tools, to move around domains and disciplines, and to be part of different teams. And that's kind of another thing that we really believe in Majority, is that work will transition from 9 to 5, from very kind of stable yet monotonous working, I'm talking specifically for creative people, to a more project-based, mission-based, kind of team-based world where you'll be the product. I think this is the biggest thing. In the world of startups, anyone that has heard kind of the lingo, they talk about that success in a startup, in a venture that you want to scale, is when you find product market fit, PMF. What does product market fit? Is that basically you're iterating, you have ideas, you test stuff until you find a product that people buy. Now it's the time to scale, and this is usually when the Series A investing comes, which is, I guess, we'll do like a 30-second kind of VC imperfect class. Someone will have an idea, will usually get some kind of money somehow, maybe from their own pocket, maybe from a family member, maybe a loan, maybe just working with no pay, until you have something to show someone. And this is when like you usually will get some kind of pre-seed or seed investment, which is like can range from $50,000 to even some seed rounds have gone up to like $10 million, but this is kind of not that common. So this seed investment, the word seed basically is that it's like almost underground, but it's a seed. But these investors come and they water it because they believe that with the enough insights and data that you have, this can grow into something bigger. And then this seed money is used to still iterate, improve the team, improve the product until you find this product market fit. And then once you have product market fit, they make it rain on you. You hire 100 people. And then the idea is to basically go and eat the market and become successful. Going back to what I was saying, in Majority, we truly believe that we need to find the person market fit. You know, we've been trained to think that we need to be a cog in a machine, that we need to adjust to the system. And I think what we're understanding now with AI and the transition, and also at an internal point, like you don't want to be disposable. You don't want to be someone who, if the system changes, you're not good enough anymore. So basically what we're trying to invest in Majority is to help people find their unique value proposition, which I would kind of equate it to the product market fit in a product. Imagine what would the PMF, the product market fit for a startup, would be for an individual. If you are the brand, if you are the product, I am the product, Sebastian, so I need to find where is my product market fit. But how do I find that? The same way that a startup works, iteration, iteration, iteration. But who gives you the opportunity to do this in the real world? It's very tough because you will usually get hired for a job, work on something very, very, very kind of narrow. You will learn a lot of skills, but it's very hard to find, especially outside academia. When we go into academia, bachelor's degree, master's degree, we tend to find these opportunities to iterate, you know? I did a master's in human-computer interaction with two of my partners, Yael and Iftach. And we had the opportunity to iterate, to test, to tinker, to break, and it was amazing. But the moment you graduate, now you need to choose. Now you need to converge into one specific job in the industry within a specific industry. So you need to go to e-commerce, you need to go to cybersecurity, and within cybersecurity, you need to go to the specific product. Yes, you will learn a lot, and I don't think that majority comes to replace the value that someone can get from working a job within a system that is oiled, that is working, that is delivering at the highest level. Okay, I'm not saying majority comes yet to replace this. However, I feel, and this is the pain point that I feel drove so much of majority's conception, was that it's so hard for us to find this unique value proposition, and time passes and you build a family and you have responsibilities, and it kind of never arrives. And many people you see today in LinkedIn and books that they're talking about like find your purpose, and it can be such a like noble and beautiful pursuit, but it can also be very, very empty and very hard, because I'm a firm believer that we discover our purpose through our work. And if you've worked all your life doing something, it's very hard to just all of a sudden find your purpose. So I went a bit too far away, so I bring it back to majority when it comes to helping people find this unique value proposition. In a way, we do it like startups do. So we are this seed investor or pre-seed that we invest in you, in your project, or in you as an individual, because you are someone who has this potential, this creative potential. We believe in you like an investor believes in a startup, but we believe in you, in your value, in your uniqueness, in your, I want to say even weirdness, you know? We're not welcoming everyone just because they're weird or just because they're unique. We're looking for specific people that share a lot of values, a lot of like, they have a moral compass. They also have technical ability. They also have passion. So of course, majority is not for everyone, but for whoever it is, it's very clear that it's for them. And this is kind of the feedback we've been receiving when we've pitched majority. So what are we building in this ecosystem? I would say like the first step, like I said in the beginning of the video, an ecosystem is not built from scratch. It is almost like, you know, have you seen these like terrariums? These kind of videos where people put like small organisms and they see how they interact with each other. And then based on this interaction, there's a predator. We need more predators. We need more organisms. We need more food. Basically, this is kind of like the process that we're doing in building majority. Majority is not a traditional startup. We're not looking to find product market fit and scale abnormally, you know, like exponentially. We're building truly an ecosystem, and the key elements of this, I guess majority is building the terrarium, building the structure, and now we're bringing and putting organisms. And these organisms are both individuals that share our ethos, that want to do something meaningful. I think it's become a bit kind of overused, but the concept of ikigai, where like it's people that truly believe, they believe this, they don't think it's something kind of like conceptual, they truly believe that they can work in something they love, something they're good at, something that can help the planet, and something that can give them a good, sustainable living for them and their families. Why not? Some people have done it. I have been lucky to do kind of something throughout my life. So we're trying to support this. So if you're an individual, you can come as an individual to majority, and we will allocate you in a team where you'll be able to help a team, but also will help you discover this, where do you lie around this ikigai. And if you have a team, you're a project, you're developing something exciting, it needs to be something, like I said, the ikigai. It can't be, we don't work with projects that are just transactional, that just want to do, I don't know, just I want to make drop shipping. We don't work with projects like this because there's already enough people working in projects like this. We're really investing in these creative, professional, innovative projects and people. So either you're an individual or you have a project and you come with your project, we also help you. And then as we help you and you help us, we start building this symbiotic relationship within the ecosystem. And the truth is, yes, we have a lot of ideas of how this evolves, but is it even worth going there yet? Maybe at some point, but I think for this video, for now, I don't think it's worth it. So that's it for now. maybe the vlog closes now. So if it's ending now, thank you. But if it's not ending now, I'm gonna go see Dani and maybe she'll have some words to say. Here with Dani Reds, our co-founder. She's gonna answer a few questions from the crowd, all the comments you left us.
All the comments you left us.
Okay, Dani.
Do I need to answer a specific question or just
Okay. I will ask you. Full name?
Wow, Daniela Pascal Rojas Levy,
Where are you from?
Chile.
When did you hear first about Majority?
Well, from Seba actually a while back. I don't know if it was more than a year ago, of course. We were just starting to get to know each other, and then he said, "Okay, let's go get a coffee." And then we went, and he said, "I want to tell you about a little bit about the project that I'm working on." And then he told me about this project, and the funny thing was that after finishing listening to him, I said, "Wow, this is incredible. It's exactly or very, very similar to an idea I had in mind when I wrote, what would I do with my life if I had all the resources and the time to do it? What would I work on?" And Majority was basically the same, or said in different words, even more developed than I had thought about. So yeah, that's the first time I heard about it, and since then I couldn't stay back. I told Seba, I remember that time, I know you're already working on it, but if you need any help by building it, anything I can help with, please let me know. And yeah, I just went with it, and I didn't separate myself from Majority. I think I became a Majorian back then even.
Amazing. And then, so that would be around like a year and a half ago, probably.
Yeah, something like that.
And then when did you join full time, and how was that process? And tell us a bit about what you've been doing.
Okay, so we were working. I mean, as I said, I offered my help, and I started to go to some sessions with Seba, Yael, Iftah. All of the things that they were doing, I tried to join and to help and to contribute from what I like doing and from my profession and from like any way that I could help. And then after a while, I think yeah, I went to travel. I was very not happy with my job. Went traveling, came back, and I remember talking to Seba and saying, I know I need to resign, to quit my job, because this is not giving me anything, but I don't really like what are my choices, like what is it that I can do. So I remember saying I can go and work in UX UI and be a UX UI designer or something, but I know that's not going to bring me purpose, and I want to do something that actually fills my heart and engines my passion.
And there was nothing like this in the market?
Let me be honest, I didn't search a lot, but I think my entire professional life has been kind of a search of something that really, really excites me, and I never found it. So I had the feeling that I kind of had to like build it for myself. So then that's when Seba told me, I'm working. I decided I'm gonna stop doing everything I've been doing so far, and I'm just gonna focus 100% on Majority. So I would love for you to join me in trying to build this and then make this a reality. And that's when I said, yeah, for sure. So I quit like by the end of that year. I don't remember which one it was. 2024. And then in February, we already started working full time. And that's, ever since we've been doing this together.
So 8 months ago you joined, and could you tell us a bit about what we've been doing, and also what's been your role in all of this?
Okay, so when you're just like two people, I think you do a little bit of everything, and that's something I really like. Not like focusing only on something and then missing out on everything else. I think I'm a very curious person, and I like to check a lot, like everything. So that's what I've been doing. We've been doing a lot of like everything, basically. What was the other question?
What's been your specific role like within this? Because one of our things that I talked before in the vlog was about kind of what the role of Majority is in bringing each person's unique value proposition, and kind of like, have you been able to discover that, and kind of like what's been your uniqueness, your irreplaceability in a way?
Oy. That's a difficult question. I think when we've done conversations with Seba and with the team, yeah, Liftach, I think I'm the term that has described me the most. It's like producing, like kind of. I think Majority had a lot of ideas and a very kind of developed vision, and then I try to come and like push that forward and actually do stuff that we can show and have and try it out with the people with the potential users and everything. Yeah, I don't know, that's a hard question.
The last question is going to be more spontaneous, but right on the background, they're playing the song of the. Do you hear it?
No.
It's the song of the video of Mindy. That it
Okay.
has come out again and again in moments like this.
Okay.
And it's been kind of special. So to kind of talk about the future and the spark and what lights you up and kind of like the magic of Majority in your words, because I feel like for each individual, Majority means something else. So if you could talk about a bit this element and kind of like looking forward and how the world is going, where the world is going, what's our mission and how you relate to this.
I think one of the things that I truly highlight from Majority, and it really, I feel very identified with it, and probably that's why I connect so much with it, is the fact that there are people in this world, and I am, I think, one of them, that cannot find in this structured, made path for us their path. It's like not in the opportunities in the workforce or whatever is out there, not in the structure of the 9 to 5. They don't find themselves and they don't fit the mold that they have given us. And I think I struggled a lot. I figured it out afterwards, but I think I've struggled a lot with that, with finding where is it that I can shine and what is it exactly that I can do. And as I said, I'm so curious that it's like for me difficult to say, okay, this is what I'm going to do all the time. Like all these boxes that society, let's say, puts us in are very difficult for me. And I think one of the incredible things about Majority, it's kind of allowing you to ask yourself these questions and allowing you to find this path for you and carve the path, your particular path, not the path that other people have told you that is your path, but find your particular special place where you shine and where you can bring light into this world. And I think for me, that's the way of looking at things, because when you have people doing what they love, doing what they're good at, and like enjoying what they're doing, that's when they can do their best and when they can contribute, even if it sounds idealistic, to the improvement of this world the best. So that for me, it's like the superpower, let's say, of Majority.
So that's it. You heard it here first from Dani, Seba. Soon you're gonna meet Yael and Iftach. And do you see me?
Yes.
Yes. And so that's the end of our first vlog. Soon in the next week, we're gonna start showing our process behind the scenes. And if you got all the way here, you can leave questions. And that's it. Peace out. Subscribe. Give a like. Say goodbye, Dani.
Bye.
And we're here in a very cool place in Tel Aviv called
That's Tammuz, and that's
Mazetesha Tammuz Coffee. And it's a collaborative co-working space from the city of Tel Aviv, so you can come check it out. Maybe we'll do a collab with them soon. Bye.